Yo, 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 we live on location. Me and the blackest one. You feel me? I got Q Chi-Town behind me back there, but we coming to you live. Me and D Miles is in Orlando. We got Big Dog coming to you from that ATL shouty. This is special, y'all. This is Hall of Fame. This is Midwest GOAT. This is Indiana, Gary, Indiana legend. This is legendary here. World champ. Best college ball player I've seen with my eyeballs, period. Averaged 30 ball in college. Yo, man, this is Big Dog, Glenn Robinson, y'all. Put your hands together, tune in. Appreciate you, OG.
No problem, my dog.
Man, appreciate you, OG, man. This is love, man.
Man, you know I love y'all brothers, man.
Brought to you by Thigh Stop.
All right, first of all, man, OG, this is one for us. Like, I'm talking about you, one of the ones that, oh my God, man, it wouldn't be a D Miles if it wasn't for you, man. Just watching you play and just do your thing, man, watching your career, man, this is definitely a blessing, man. We appreciate you being on our show and rocking with us, though.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, this one for the Midwest, too, for all those Midwest hustlers out there. This one for the record right here, you feel me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, look, before you start, I know Mike Epps in particular gonna feel this.
He definitely gonna feel this.
Most definitely.
The first question we ask everybody, when you first got to the league, who's the first person to bust your ass?
Well, like I say, first of all, everybody is gonna bust your ass.
Yeah.
In some type of way, even if you hold the person down. That below his average or whatever. You can't stop nobody in this league
at all.
Even we got our big time guys, we got our MJs, but we got guys that people don't know about.
Yeah,
I'm gonna throw out a name: George McLeod.
Buckets.
Shoot
George McLeod. He was the first person to bust my ass.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
I got a story. Mike Dunleavy was the coach. We had to read the scouting report, which the scouting report, some guys I wouldn't read it on.
Yeah.
A guy that I didn't know, like George McLeod, I was like, whatever. I'm going to go out here and do my thing and bust his ass. Mike Dunleavy asked me, well, which way does George McLeod like to go, left or right? Well, for instance, if he liked to go right, I said left. And that was a perfect opportunity to, first of all, to get on the rookie's ass and let the rookie know that, you're not bigger than the game.
Yeah.
You need to read the scouting report on everybody, not just the man that you're covering. Anyway, the whole squad. But to make the long story short, this guy came out and gave me 30, easy, 32.
He used to shoot that thing, too.
Man, listen, if you look up his numbers and you see what his career stats are, you'll see what I'm talking about. And, in this league, if you average 8 points in this league, you're doing something because you're playing against the best in the world.
Yeah. I remember when we first got to the league and when you look down there, man, we play the Bucks and we look down there, man, we see you, Tim Thomas, Ray Allen, Sam Cassell,
2-point
Ed Mace. Like, it was just like, man, when we got to the league, you couldn't be a fan. You couldn't show nobody you liked them. You just had to look for afar. And it was like, man, look at all them killers that I just grew up and just watched down there. And speaking about that year, I felt that year, the first year that they won, the Lakers won the championship, I felt like y'all was the team to beat them. I feel like y'all could beat the Lakers that year specifically because y'all was rolling. I used to watch all y'all games. Like that year specifically, 2000 year, with you, Ray, I think y'all lost to the 76ers that year, if I'm not mistaken.
Lost to Philly.
Just tell us about that year because y'all was like rolling on all cylinders. The guys coming off the bench, everybody was that was a good team.
Well, we had a good system. First of all, we had, like you say, we had a bunch of killers. We had a bunch of scorers, and everybody played their role. We had a bunch of great guys, but it was still hard to win.
Yeah,
it was still hard to get a win night in and night out because every team had a bunch of killers on them. But that year, I think we beat the Lakers twice.
Yeah,
that year.
Yeah, I did.
And I think we don't quote me, but I think we beat them the year before, and they invited us out to a game preseason to get a look at us because they knew they probably would face us at the end of the season. But yeah, we had a shot. I think the makeup of our team with myself, Ray, and Sam, our bigs, Scott Williams. Scott played with him. Jay, he played with. He knew how to win. And he knew how to stay out of our way. Mm. So and when he stayed out of the way, he was at his range, right at 15 foot. So he was able to knock that shot down. Defensively, he was able to do things on the defensive end that a lot of bigs wasn't doing because of his speed. He had a speed.
He had a motor on him too.
Yeah, he had a motor on him, and he was smart. That's just one guy, and everybody complimented each other. You had guys like Tim Thomas. Mm-hmm. Tim Thomas is one of the more versatile players that I played with. He can do it all. He can dribble. Sir. He can pass the ball. He can play, shoot the three. He can play pick and roll as the ball handler or the pick setter. That was big. So he was a guy that was underrated, and he was great for us.
Nobody had a package like y'all package was. Like at point, at the 2, and at the 3. You look around the league like, you might have your 2 and 3 might be nice, but your point guard ain't as.
Hey, hold on. I just had a random thought. This is a true story. The first time I ever got dunked on in the NBA.
Oh yeah.
First of all, it was this black motherfucker's fault. It was his fault. It was his damn fault. That. And on my life, it was you. He pushed me. He pushed me into an alley-oop dunk, and you dunked on me. And I will never forget it because he laughed at me.
You know what?
I turned around like, you know how after the aftermath, the ball coming through the net, I'm trying to hurry up and do my hurry and get it out of here like this man gonna start. I'm trying to inbound the ball. He gonna let. I said, if you don't take, I'm like, oh, okay. After the guy said,
he supposed to rotate it on that. I remember that play specifically. You know how you push somebody, but like you supposed to be at that. I pushed him over there, so he deserved to get his ass dunked off.
So you just gonna sit here and lie like that?
That's what happened. Your rotation wasn't right, so I had to push you over, and you just happened to get dunked off.
This man pushed me into the first dunk on of my career.
Well, I didn't get many dunks. So I should remember that, but I was more, as time went on, I was more of a jump shooter, unless you throw the lob to me. Yeah. But I wasn't a guy that was coming in and that was just gonna skyrocket over somebody. So hey.
but y'all packaged that year when we got to the league. Like I said, I haven't seen y'all had the package of y'all had an all-star point guard, an all-star 2 guard, and an all-star 3. A lot of teams didn't have that. They might have had an all-star big man and an all-star guard, but they didn't really have a 1, 2, 3 that's out there really putting up the numbers, just like y'all chemistry. Because we used to call y'all 2-point geezers. Because like y'all jump shots was like layups.
And Big Dog, they shot
like
so
y'all
many
jump shots. You Cassell and Ray, y'all jump shots was like layups, and we was like, damn, these motherfuckers ain't gonna never miss. Like, how was that duo just to have that? And I know you probably haven't played with like the level of like greatness that they had, like Ray Allen and Sam Cassell that's playing at the level they playing in and being all-star just as well as you. Like how was that?
Well, when Ray came, from day one, from the first, when we played pickup ball, we knew who was going to be the starting 2 guard. and we hadn't had a single day of practice. That's how he dominated from day one. I tell you, Dwayne Wade used to come up and play with us. This was a few years later at Marquette. I knew he was going to be special because he and Ray they had some battles then, But that's a different story. But like I say, from day one, we knew what Ray was about. Sam Cassell, he's just a winner from day one. 2 championship rings. Could have easily started with the Houston Rockets. And if you look at that run that he had, he was a bit far
he finished
of the run. Yes, sir. He played well. So, Sam, he's just a confident guy. But what people didn't realize, they say he's a score-first point guard. But if you look at the Milwaukee Bucks stats, he's up there in assists too. So with the ability to be able to score and buying into our system, maybe in the past he probably shot the ball a lot more than maybe the teams wanted him to, but we all bought into our system.
Yeah.
And with his ability to be able to score and distribute the ball the way he could, man, that was big. And Ray was able to play point guard. See, people look at Ray at the end of his career when he was with Miami or somebody, but early in his career, his first 4 or 5 years, he could have played point guard.
That boy was shaking and baking, dunking on fools and everything. Like
big hands. You know, he had the hands like Dr. J, Michael Jordan.
He got one of the illest photos that's out there, like
hanging
one of the ones
rim.
where he hanging off the rim and his legs is like he almost running in the air. It's just like, yo, when did I remember it, but like I know the young people like, man, when did Ray do that? But trust me, he was
his calves. His calves.
Still today, that man running miles and he riding miles and running miles. He still got calves and in shape today.
And he's the only guy that I ever played with that shoots a jump shot on every single shot that he takes.
It's
practice or in the game.
It's always a jump. Like when you say jump,
he jumps. Yes. When he practice, if I'm practicing shooting jump shots, it's a set shot. It's a set shot. Ray Allen jump on. I don't jump until somebody's in my face, until a hand is in my face during the game. This guy jumps on every single shot, practice or in the game.
Yeah, I was seeing him going early to the gym, man. And it was like I never seen that before. He catching the cab early. He already over there. He's sweating when folks is walking in on the first bus, and I'm like, oh, that's different. Right there.
On my life, I want to say that was my second or third year. I can't remember exactly. It was my second or third year, and when I saw that, I did that for the rest of my career.
Yeah.
Early, I would take a cab sometime, but I would just, regardless, I wanted to get my shots first. But speaking like that's what really made me respect it different. Like when you say it was a jump shot every time, because I did the 3-point contest 3 different times, right?
Right.
So when you get in that, like you really see, like a jump shooter, this ain't really the best competition for a real true to life jump shooter. Like you see, like certain people, like you know me, Black. When I got in there, I barely jumped in. I'm tiptoe. I'm never gonna not run out of time. I'm never gonna run out of time. I'm always get them off. Like when I was looking at how he shoot and how he jump, he has like when you look up in the dictionary, but he should be the jump shot. Like you know what I'm saying? Like he should be the picture. Like guys like him, JJ Redick, they jump shoot every single time, and that's a real jump shot. Like for me. Like, bro, you just saw me. I could sit there and shoot 10, 12, knock 11 in a row, not even, I'm talking about literally tiptoes coming off the ground. You can't even slide a sheet of paper under it.
But during the game, if you got a wide open shot, do you shoot it like that?
Yes.
In the game, I jump. See, in practice, I'll shoot the way you're saying. But if I lands wide open in the game, I'm jumping.
Maz was funny. I would do both. Yeah. But I saw the one consistent thing about him. It was exactly the same. Even that legendary shot he hit when Chris Bosh threw it out, and it was like he said, it was muscle memory. He got them feet set, and it was exactly like every other jump shot you saw him shoot. You couldn't, if you took the time and everything out, it looked the same. The mechanics said, that man went up there and did the same look. I was like, damn, dog. Well, get them ropes out of there and everything. It was crazy.
I'll tell you, maybe when he warm up, when he first come out and, you know, go underneath the basket and do a few touch shots. And that's the only time he does not jump on his shot. But when he's in real live shooting, he's going to elevate. And one time I was hurt. And, you know, you got to get back in shape before you get out there. So I'm out there shooting jumpers. And Terry Stotts go, okay, now let's jump on every shot. Man, I got so tired. I got fat. I got tired quick. You understand?
You respect that too.
Like, wow, exactly. Yeah, so that's what made me think about Ray jumping on every shot, game or practice. It's crazy.
We all want a nickname. And one of the dopest nicknames in history is Big Dog. Like
Big Dog.
You remember the first time you heard that they calling you Big Dog? And I know, like after a while, like you had your name before the league, so like after a while, like your name was Big Dog. Like nobody called you by your name. Like
right. Well, first of all, shout out to Antoine Carr. because
Big Antoine Carr, Utah
is the original big dog.
Oh, okay.
That's the original. He was the first big dog.
Okay.
I remember when I
always
came.
Gotta pay home.
Hey, most definitely. And, but the first time I heard the name Big Dog was in college. You know, the maintenance guy. He used to clean the building and kind of sneak around and stick his head in the gym and watch us play pickup. So he was standing right next to our assistant coaches, and I went up, got a rebound, and went back up and dunked it or something. And he said the phrase, "Well, hey, you got to move over and let the big dog eat." Mm-hmm. And our assistant coach, Frank Kendrick, he took that phrase and he said it all summer. We went to Europe and played for a few weeks during the summer. We for Purdue, the team, and he said. He just kept saying that phrase, you got to move over and let the big dog eat. Next thing you know, the commentators start saying big dog, big dog scores, and it just grew. I had a lot of nicknames. I had G-Rob, 12 gauge, the Rockster. I had all kind of nicknames, but the big dog was the one, most definitely.
Yeah, I love the big dog. That's one of the dopest nicknames. Like, just remember, like, I forgot your real name. I called you Big Dog so much.
And the coolest thing, well, there's only a few guys that nicknamed themselves, and that's I can think of offhand is Dr. J. I think he nicknamed himself, and the Black Mamba, Kobe, nicknamed himself. But they in their own lane. They can do that.
Yeah.
Anybody else, I feel like somebody else is supposed to give you your nickname. And that's what's cool about my nickname. I didn't just go around calling myself the Big Dog because that was seen kind of arrogant. Hey, that name was put on me. Hey, that burden was put on my shoulders. So I wore it.
You lived up to.
Lord, because you was Big Dog. You was killing them folks. Gary, Indiana. Indiana. That's like East St. Louis. When I went to Gary, I was like,
I got family in Gary, Indiana right now. My cousin Sean, Poo Poo, Chrissy, all that. Real talk. They've been there since I was little. Gary, like, Chicago and Gary, like cousins. We all got family in both of them.
Exactly. And, in Chicago, I spent plenty of time there playing in the summer leagues, playing against I didn't play against your team, but we played in an all-star game one year.
Yeah, we played in J. Rose game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And man, those were some of the best games, and that helped me grow as a player because I was a center in high school. 6'8". 6'8" ain't gonna get you nowhere in our area, but at the small forward somewhere. At the most, unless you got Elton Brand arms or something like that. But playing in Chicago in the summer leagues, I played against Snake, Kenny Norman. You had to have some ball at that position.
Right.
You got to have some ball handling skills. You got to have a jump shot. So that's where my perimeter game started at, playing over there in the summer leagues in Chicago. And in Chicago, it can be a guy J.J. Anderson. You remember J.J. Anderson?
Yeah.
J.J. Anderson was the fadeaway monster. He'll give you 40 with all fadeaways. Yeah. He didn't play in the league.
I was about to say, but he ain't even make the league. Don't nobody really know, but he'll give you gravy.
All day. Yeah, so it started over there in Chicago. It's only 30 miles from home growing up. Short ride. But man, that started the versatility of my game.
When you came up, who's that person you was watching that you was looking up to? Like, man, I wanna get my game like them. Cause I see a lot of people like you and Rasheed Wallace jump shot always remind me of the same thing because y'all got that high arc. I remember I used to play against you. I'd be like, man, he's shooting that mug. He got that mug all the way on top of his head, man. I can't get that. I'm athletic. I'm trying to time it. Like, you just move a little bit and you had that high arc. Who kind of instilled that in you?
Well, I don't know where the high arc came from. That's just, I guess, from playing against shorter guys. And, the smaller guys will try to strip you on your way up. Mm-hmm. And I was taught as a big man, when you get the rebound, keep the ball up. So that's how my shot initially started, getting the rebound and the ball above my head. Mm-hmm. to avoid getting stripped. Now, as far as who I watched, you know, I'm from Gary. We get all Chicago network.
MJ.
So MJ all day. You know. But MJ is 6'6", and I'm 6'8". So I really started to put my eyes on Scottie Pippen. The way he would get the rebound and lead the break and
you
do
speaking
things
our
with
language
the ball.
right now. This is both of our childhood. Look, Mike and Scottie, it don't get no bigger, no better. I don't care who, I don't care what. It's just a different meaning because, like you said, Gary, Chicago. It ain't no disrespect to the greats, Wilt, Magic, none of them, but it's just we was there, yo.
Yeah,
we watched
was
every
there. We
single
saw
movement.
That WGN used to be on fire.
I mean, we saw him from the bottom to the top. Literally, because before Mike came in, it was either Boston, the Lakers. Detroit was starting to come in a little bit, and everybody else fell in line. Everybody else probably had a good regular season, but when it came down to it, it was Boston at the end of the day.
Yeah, we talk about that about Scottie, man. Like, Scottie is one of them guys. I don't feel like he get the credit he really deserves because he did so much.
Well, just look at when MJ retired. The man led the Bulls in everything.
He should have been MVP.
Points, steals, assists, rebounds. What else? It was 5 categories.
Man, I got to be on ESPN with Scottie, and I'm like, I got to be on the jump on ESPN. I'm talking about the whole time. I said it literally live doing time. I said, I'm sorry, dog. I'm up here with Scottie. Like, I'm gonna say this. Like, this is crazy. Like, and it's like him and MJ and Horace too, though. Like, and Rodman, like them dudes, man. The way, like you say, when you from there, it's a different feeling. Like, and you know, the Bulls is one of them teams the whole world love, you know what I'm saying? But it's different from us in the Midwest that was there. That seen every single thing. Like, they gave all kids hope, but they gave us a different type of hope because they were our team. You know what I'm saying? Like, forget about that. Y'all our team.
But with Scottie, I'm the same height as Scottie. You know, I was like, okay, Jordan is a two guard. This is when I started putting positions together.
Yeah.
And when I speak to a kid right now, he could be in junior high or elementary. First question I ask is, if you made it to the NBA today, what's your position? You have to know positions according to weight and according to height and work on your skill level from there, because you can end up undersized at an undersized position.
Yeah.
You know, so I was looking at Scottie from a standpoint, he's 6'8". Well, I have to be able to, I'm not going to say lead the break like he did, but I need to have some ball handle. I need to be able to step out and shoot the perimeter, have a 1-2 dribble type of game. I can't play against Patrick Ewing.
Right.
Patrick Ewing 7'1".
Right.
But in high school, I'm playing the same position that he's playing. You know, so now that if I was, and that's the way the game was then. Back then, in Gary, if you was, you know, Chicago, a bigger city, so they got bigger players.
Yeah.
You know, Simeon and King, they will have a college type lineup.
Right.
They would be 6'8" at the 3, 6'10" at the 4, and 7 feet at the 5.
Liberty, you know? And Rashard and all of that.
Exactly. Yeah. But at my high school, I was our point guard, probably 5'11". You know, our small forward was, our power forward was probably 6'3" or 6'4". Right. You know, so they're going to stick you down there in the paint. But that's the way the game was. So now, if I got a guy that's 6'6", 6'7", you might have to play center for me. But after practice, come on, I need 15 to 20 minutes of ball handling, 15, 20 minutes of agility work, you know, just little things like that to prepare you for the next level.
In high school, when did you know that, like, oh man, I'm dominant, like I'm better than everybody, not just only at my school, but at the state, maybe even the country, that I'm a little bit better than these cats?
That's a great question. I played AAU. I got introduced to AAU at 15 years old. See, growing up, I played 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th. I didn't play my 7th grade yet. I was starting to sway in a different direction. But AAU, I didn't play none of the bitty basketball, none of that. So AAU, I got introduced to that at 15, and we played in the state tournament. And Bloomington, Indiana beat our team. And at the time, you can choose 2 more players and take them to the state, to the nationals with you, I'm sorry. And we went to Jonesboro, Arkansas. And they had the New York, every team from every state, whoever won that state, they was there. From New York to Kentucky,
all the big cities,
California, all the big cities. And we played against, I can't remember who we played against, but I made it to our team made it to the top 5. Mm-hmm. I played against Allen Henderson in high school. I'm sorry, and listen to me, in high school, in AAU at 15, but we were both the same age in the same class.
Right.
Once we got to nationals, played against a little bit more competition from other states, that's when I started getting ranked. But when I felt like I was a little bit better than everybody in my area was when I played against Chris Webber. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, Chris Webber is probably the same size now, the same size then as he is now.
Right.
When I first saw this guy, I was like saying to myself, like, man, we need to check this dude's birth certificate. This guy is not 15 years old.
Right.
And he was an intimidator, so our team was stretching, and his team had to come across the court to go into on the other side. So he walked right beside me, looking down at me as he was walking, bean mugging me. And I'm looking back up like, the hell you looking at? I'm stretching though. He looking over me. I'm like, damn, it's fit to be on tonight.
Go down.
So, it's good to go. So when we played, they introduced all the teams. So I'm standing out at jump circle. So C-Webb came out. Back in the day, the best player always came to the jump circle last.
Right.
So they introduced everybody. He was still fixing the shoes and everything. So he came out. You know how he walked.
Right.
He came out. It's just mean mug. Like, what? So I mean mugging back. So we standing here, we mean mugging each other like an MMA fight is about to go down. And when I tell you, the whole gym just exploded. The whole gym was like, oh shit, it's on. Yeah. I looked over at my coach. My coach, he was so hyped. He was beating on his desk. So I bust out. I started laughing, and he goes, "See, that's your problem. That's your problem. You too damn friendly. You too friendly." And the name of his team was the Super Friends.
Super Friends.
Yeah, Super Friends.
So I had to wipe the smile quick though. So I go, well, you the one that got Super Friends on your chest. You the one that's friendly. Let's go. So, but I'm gonna tell you, man, that game, I probably had 49 and he had 50. But that probably was the most competition and the most. I had some fear there before I played him. Just looking at him and how physical he was. And let me tell you, anything that was underneath the basket was a slam dunk.
Right.
He's dunking it. I don't give a damn who was under there. He was dunking it, So, but yeah, man, that was probably when after I played him, I felt like shit. If I can survive this, I don't think nobody in my area. Not in Northwest Indiana can see me right now. So, that was cool.
Let me ask you this, like upon, after that, and you start getting a name for yourself in your area, but not only in the area, in the nation. How much pride did you take in that coming from, the hood school or whatever you want to call it, that's not city. Really known for you from Gary, you know what I'm saying? You got big Allen Henderson over here at the big school, blah, 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 but like, when you put on like that, how did you feel putting on for your high school in your area, in your hood? How did that make you feel?
Man, that made me feel great because, first of all, that's something that I've always had to battle. Being from Gary, and you can start with battling for Mr. Basketball. Yeah. I didn't think that I would even get. I felt that. If our team won state, it probably would have been a split. If our team would have lost state, I felt like Allen Henderson would have got it because Indianapolis, that's the capital of Indianapolis, the capital of Indiana, and the media is bigger. They get a lot more coverage, this and that. So, and then Allen Henderson was a straight A student. bright kid. Yeah. And, you know, shout out Big Ups to Allen Henderson. We great friends too. And we played together here in Atlanta, which was cool. We should have played together at Purdue. You know, he told me he was going to come. He went to Indiana. That's a different story, though. but he was a straight A student. I ended up a prop, you know, so I was battling the SAT. So that was the thing that was put over my head, not being eligible. That was the way that teams tried to stop me. The crowds used to chant SAT.
Oh yeah,
I was at the foul line.
I was one of them. They definitely they chanted it. CAT, SAT, and every other test they came up with.
And you remember the Ghetto Boys when they had a song that went Ghetto Boys. Yeah. So our team, we used to come out saying Ghetto Boys. That's what we used to come out saying. And we played on West Side High School, another Gary school, in the sectionals. And the game got tight, and I was at the foul line with 2 foul shots. And they started chanting. Well, first they was chanting SAT on my first foul shot, and I missed it. Oh my God, they went crazy. Second foul shot, they start chanting SAT, and you know that hurt. You know I had to make that shot by the way. Right. You know, and at the time in high school, I probably was a 68%, not even a 70% foul shooter.
Right.
But that shot I had to make.
Could another school got Big Dog? Could somebody else almost get Big Dog?
Maybe if I wasn't a prop. But to tell you the truth, nobody recruited me like Purdue did. When it came to mail, you know, college mail was big back then.
Yeah.
Purdue sent me the most mail. Purdue called me the most. Purdue. This is before I found out that I was going to be, you know, and I committed early, but Purdue, they really came after me hard. But my favorite schools was UNLV. Grandma, they had
LJ. You already know.
LJ on. I told LJ, we literally just had LJ on. We told him, I say, yo, do you realize what you did for the hood? What y'all,
he was the Bulls of they were
real talk. For us in the hood, we told him that. I said, yo, when Pop put the hat on, put the jersey on, like, do y'all know what y'all was doing? Y'all represented us. Like, y'all was right before the Fab Five came and made their imprint. Like, y'all was all of that for the hood before that became that.
Moses Scurry had me screaming when I get the rebounds. Yeah,
exactly.
I used to love that. That was my squad, man. I used to like them. Tennessee, Coach Houston was there, was up there. Who else was in the mix? Illinois was one of my favorites when they had Kendall Gill and
all of them.
That squad was. I was hurt when G Rice, when Glenn Michigan beat them in the tournament. I was sick.
I remember that.
Yeah, so those were some of my teams. Hey, I remember Bobby Knight came to Roosevelt to visit. So he goes, you know, this Bobby, the general came to Gary. So he sits down and goes, so what's your top 5 schools? I'm like, really? Oh, okay, UNLV, Tennessee, Purdue, Indiana. He was like, well, you know what? If Purdue is your number 1 school, you ought to commit to them. Because I'm going to tell you what, if you mess around and you go visiting this school and that school and taking all 10 of your bit, this and that, you're going to be a prop. So if that's your favorite school, you ought to just go ahead and commit to them. You know what I did?
Committed to them.
I committed to Purdue. I took the general's advice. And really, it was probably the best advice that he can give me.
Yeah.
Because he probably would have told me, if Indiana is your number 1 school, then you ought to commit to Indiana, the same thing. But that was a thrill though, because I mean, back then Bobby Knight was everything.
Exactly.
You know, in college.
Hey, this is what I want to go back to. Like when you was talking about the Prop 48, right? So you get through going and you share National Player of the Year with C. Webb, the boy you talking about. Y'all the biggest thing, you know what I'm saying? How was it for you to have to sit out that freshman year and watch them be the Fab Five when you know what I'm saying, you just did what you did.
Same
you
conference and everything.
Same conference. You literally, you front row seats to them becoming the Fab Five, and here you are with all this game and all this you can't do nothing but practice. How was that for you to sit there and witness all of that was going on? I mean, I know you happy, but like, you know, we as competitors, you like, man, I'm supposed to be out here putting on too. How was
and
that
I know you was busting their ass in practice. I know you killing that.
You're the best player on the whole team in practice, and all you could do is practice. Like, how was that for you to deal with that year?
Well, it was tough, but once again, coming from where I came from, I was happy. I'm in college.
Okay.
I was the first person in my family to go to school, you know, outside of high school. So that was big. Then my fear was to not be as good when you sit out. If you look at players that didn't play that first year in college, that had props, they just didn't quite come back, you know, the same. So that was my biggest fear, which I feel like I did lose a lot of my hops.
Yeah.
I still had, you know, enough to do what I did, but I felt like I wasn't jumping the same because I gained a little weight. You know, I came back. I think I was probably right at 205, 210, 215, maybe soaking wet. Once I started getting into that 230 range, that kind of took away some of the lift. But yeah, it was tough. But we had a guy out of Chicago, Kenny Williams. He was a prop too. In the year before then, I think he was the player of the year in JUCO. So, you know, we leaned on each other's shoulders. I had him, you know, to sit out with. And in school, it's only 30 games, 40 games. Yeah. So season was over with before you knew it. And next thing you know, I was, you know, doing everything full range with the team.
Conzo Martin is my OG. I grew up off the history of him playing for my high school coach. Like the history was embedded in me of the championships he won in Illinois when he was young, and then him going to Purdue, and then that what made me pay attention to you even more because I'm watching all the Conzo games, and then when you play with him, I'm just watching nothing but you. But them years you play, you first come in, you gonna average at 24. You scoring on that level right in through the gate. Like, how was that for you?
Yeah, especially, that's what I was at, especially like after sitting out and being like, I know you, like you said, any of us, we sitting there like a pit bull locked down with the chain on our neck. Like, then you get the chain taken off. And like you say, how was that?
Well, I think the first game that we played UConn. And, you know, UConn is a great program, year in and year out. Until now, always have a team that's up there. And they had Danielle Marshall.
Butler until now. CB
Marshall
Butler until now.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, it's crazy. But I had a great game against them. And that gave me confidence, you know, to play. We beat them. We beat them too, you know, beat a team like UConn, you know, Big Ten. You know, to beat a team out of that conference, you know, sometimes the Big Ten don't get the same, back then wasn't getting the same respect as a Big East or things like that. So that gave me confidence. And we played against Danielle Marshall and the crew, and they had a good team. And from that point, I didn't know what I was doing. I just had confidence. And one thing Coach Katie didn't do, he just let me play. Yeah. He didn't say, now, somebody probably was open a few times. Coach Katie didn't say, Glenn, pass the damn ball. He just let me play. So a lot of the stuff that I was doing, I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah, you're the best college player I ever seen. Do you believe you're the best college player to ever play in college?
Well, like I say, when you're doing it, you don't know what you're doing until it's over. Yeah. You know, when I go back and look at some of the games or when I look at some of my numbers, I know the numbers. the short time that I did play, it measures up there with some of the greatest. And I think two of the greatest players for me was in college was Shaq and David Robinson. Those were two of the more dominant players that you knew, okay, when they get to the next level, they gonna be doing the same, they gonna do the same thing. But yeah, so like I say, I didn't know what I was doing, and coach just let me go. He just let the chain go and just say, man, go out and play.
Let me ask you this though. So now in hindsight, right, when you look back and you look at, you removed from everything, you're not in, when you can really appreciate it, bro, you averaged 30 and 11 in college, for real,
11,
like every we all know, like especially now that we can sit back, remove from everything our career, and we can look at history, like it's hard to average buckets in college, but not necessarily based on you or your game, just because it's college and the concept of the college game, and even 20 times more so. And when you was averaging 30. Like, that's insane. Like, even right now where the range is released, somebody could commit and they could do whatever they want. We have not seen a college player average 30. Not 28, not 29, no, a legit 30 ball with 11 rebounds. Like, and the way you was doing it, bro, it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I watched you ISO fools and talk to him when you about to score on him. Like, this was as gutter as it got. Like, for real, he made every hood dude be like, oh, word? We could go big time with this. Like, look at what they letting them do. Like, they letting them do this.
Well, if you go back and look at maybe the last 6 or 7 games in regular season, I got hot. I'm talking, I probably averaged about 35, 38 the last 5 or 6 games, which, boosted my average up to 30. But I think before then, I probably was averaging 28, maybe 29, somewhere in there. But like I say, I think Ohio State, I had a 40 against them. I had probably 39 or 40 against IU, and I know Illinois, the last game of the season, I had 49.
Man, you being real humble right now. You gonna try and tell me 2-3 games made you have a 30? You been giving people gravy all year. That might have put you right over the tip top.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But you giving people gravy train.
you said not 30. Like I said, I was at 28, almost 29. But like I say, those last 5 or 6 games was 40 balls, which put me at 30. But
I'm gonna tell you what warps my mind with it, because I felt like I don't even know, I could go look at them, but I feel I had a significant amount of 30s and good games and all that. And I averaged 19. You know what I'm saying? I averaged 19 for my career. I felt like I had a good amount of, like, I had 30s. I averaged 19. That's a whole 11 points more, boy. That's a whole lot of buckets.
That's a whole lot of buckets.
I'm going to tell you, I had the lime green light. You understand? Like, I literally did not have to think about a shot that I took. Like playing on the playground, you don't think about, when you want to shoot the ball, you're going to shoot the ball. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I had that type of freedom with Coach Katie. And also, I'm a small forward, playing power forward in college. So the power forwards didn't want to step out and come out. So when we would play Michigan, they had Juwan Howard guard me. Juwan can play 3, but he's really a 4-man. So when I get him out far, he got to give me a step. So I can see my shot a lot better. But once I got to the NBA, that changed, because you're going to have somebody your height, size, that's out there on you. So that was a big part of it too, being able to step out as a 4-man.
How was it when you first got to play, like after coming off that Prop 48, sitting that season out, when you first got to play the Fab Five of Michigan? How was that for you? Because everybody came back that second year, so you got to still see them. How was that for you? How ready for that game were you?
Well, those guys, those are my friends, and we're in the same class. So, and I always felt like, no,
y'all McDonald's All-Americans together.
No disrespect to Ray Jackson or anything, but my motivation, I used to always say, I'm the 5th Fab Five.
Oh,
that was always my motivation for me.
So you in your mind, you said, what if I was there? It would have been this.
Well, they recruited me. And they had the number 13 jersey in the locker room, and everything. They recruited me.
So hold the phone. Are you telling me it could have been Big Dog Glenn Robinson with
That'd have been crazy.
Hey, look, crazy. Duke, everybody else had no chance if you in the building with them. It's a whole different ball game.
We would have the championship. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I always felt like I was the fifth. I always felt like I was the fifth 5'5". That was always my motivation. I never, I'm not a cocky type of guy, or I'm not that, so I never put it out there like that, trying to, make a big deal out of it or anything. Michigan just wasn't the place for me. Yeah. And they changed the rules from the Prop 48, Prop 42, and all of that stuff, however that go, where the student loan out of state is a little bit more expensive. Not that the student loan was going to make or break, my destination. Right. All I had to do was stay healthy, if you know what I'm saying. But, like I said, once again, Purdue, they went after me the hardest, and it was right at home.
That would have been crazy.
Nuts.
You averaged 30 your second year, but then now you in a tournament. And in the tournament, them guys, the score, the leading scorer of the NCAA, they really be having the spotlight on because we know you finna get buckets. And, how was that tournament for you? And when you got to the Elite Eight to Duke, the run that y'all made to get to the Elite Eight, like, how was that?
Man, that was a great run. We were coming off Big Ten champion. We had number one seed, all the good stuff. So, we felt like we was the team.
Yeah.
But like you say, all the big dogs come out in the tournament. I forgot who we played the first round, but when we ran up against Alabama, they came with them dogs.
They ready to play.
They ready to play. They gonna get into you close. They gonna lock you down defensively.
They athletic as hell.
They gonna pick you up full court. They gonna ISO you. They gonna make you play defense. So and that was a great. We made it past that. Then we ran up against Kansas. And Kansas, great program, year in and year out. But Dick Vitale, he gave me the motivation for that game. I'll never forget. He said, I think it's going to be Dickie V. He said, I think it's going to be bye-bye Boilers the next game.
Oh, you made him eat them words, huh?
I said, okay. Yeah, but, Kansas was a team, even more than Michigan. Like I say, Michigan, they my age, they in the same class. I felt like I was there. Yeah. But Kansas, going up against a big time program like Kansas, I felt like I was really up for that. And, that was a big win for our program. Then we had Duke.
Yeah, Duke. Yeah, I'm going to say play against Duke.
And, Duke is a well-coached team. They had a great game plan. Well, first of all, they put Lane on me. They put Lane on me, and then they made Cherokee Parks and Grant Hill the double man. Yeah, they
shout out Cherokee, our teammate.
Yeah, so they had a well game plan. They executed it well.
I was pissed.
I had tweaked my back the game and during that Kansas game, but I never said anything because I don't like to use injuries as excuses, especially if you lose. I hate a player that, when you're winning, they healthy, but once you get ready to lose,
yeah.
Man, fuck all that. So excuse my language, but I just can't put on a show like that. But yeah, that hurt. I thought we were gonna make it to the Final Four. It's always hard. You feel like you let your fans down and your family down, but hey, it was a learning experience, and that's one of the best teams in Purdue history, and I was just proud to be a part of it.
I can legit remember that because that was like when I feel like, I'm 11, 12. I felt like that was really when I was coming into, my real basketball self, like where I'm aware of this player, of that team, of this and that. And I can remember being pissed when y'all lost because I was like every other kid from the hood, fuck Duke. Let's go all of the, you know what I'm saying, all of the other teams. So like when they beat you, I was still like, man, he better than all of them.
Like that's how I was. I was like, so what? Like so what? Like that's when y'all had more players. Like if he was on this team, if he had this person or more help, that's how I was. I was mad. I'm walking around like
that's how I felt when Duke beat UNLV the second year. That's how I felt. I say, man, they gambled on it. Man, they got paid off. They paid. I was pissed, man. But yeah, it goes like that, man. It's a lot of great players that go through college that you wouldn't even expect to do, you know, the thing. Or this guy's underrated, like you two guys. You ask a kid, you know, you mentioned your guy's name, they wouldn't know nothing about you guys.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. But it's gonna become a time where they must learn. That's why I try to stay in shape.
Listen, that's why we want guys like you up on here though, because it's a shame, it's a travesty to me that some of these young kids. I was just in NBA locker rooms working for the Pistons 4 years ago, and there's guys that don't know who Eddie Jones is or who certain guy. And this ain't like way 60s, 70s. I understand, like, come on, bro. Like this is your history. This is like, you know what I'm saying? When you join this fraternity, you should know what's going on. It's only but 5,000 of us, and you should know people who legit built this thing and are part of why you able to do what you can do. You know what I'm saying? The Larry Johnsons, the grandmamas, like we feel like, you know what I'm saying? We feel it our duty to like, look, it ain't even my business to say whether y'all know them. I just know that everybody from our age and up, they gonna appreciate the hell out of this shit. Us having you on here and people like you. And then those of y'all that's young and tune in and actually go back and look, y'all gonna appreciate after you go look at this shit. Like, I know who I'm gonna show my son. I got 2 boys, and I promise to goodness they gonna see Big Dog. They gonna see Larry Johnson. They gonna see the different people that got what I like. You know what I'm saying? These are the kids. These are the guys that maybe you know how you say when you get to a certain age, you start to realize, okay, I love that dude, but I can't play like him. Like you said with Michael and Scotty, I'm more like Scotty. Like everybody loved Mike, but that was me. That was my reality. Even though I was 6'6", my game ain't like Mike's. I'm a 4-man in high school and in college. So I had to look at other people and take different things. But Mike is Mike forever for me. But I never was able to play like him. But like, so yeah, people need to know, like, when I sit down with my kid and we watching stuff, I be pulling up all type of shit. They gonna see D Miles. They gonna see goddamn Stromile Swift. They gonna see some of everybody who I like. It don't mean that they gotta be everything, but it's like, it's certain things that certain people play the way they play. They gonna see Jamal Crawford. They gonna see some JJ Redick. They gonna see different people because I play with these people and I know what they bring and I know what I like. And I know what I want my kids to see. But that don't mean that, hey, like, people need to know who the hell Big Dog was. You a GOAT in this game. Hall of Fame to me. Damn the jokes. Damn anything. HOF. Like you said, men lie, women lie, the numbers don't. When you take all the politics and all of the, you know what I'm saying, the false narratives and all this shit, I'll be like, my man did what he did. And how many people did what he did? I'll wait.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, take me back to draft night. Like when you declare for the draft and you go to the draft and like, I feel like you rep the Midwest to the fullest. Gold suit, you had Gators on. Like, tell me how it felt when you declared and when you did. Like you said, as soon as you popped out, you already popped out with the whip, you rolling. Like, how was it for you to declare and come out for draft night and then actually go to draft night?
Man, that was special. And, you know, I got to say this because, you know, growing up, I watched basketball, but I wasn't into the details of basketball maybe until MJ and, you know, watching the Bulls. I got friends that's younger than me that know more ball players if you go back in history than I do. But the #1 draft pick, from Gary, Indiana.
Straight up.
Purdue University.
That's a dream that I didn't believe that can come true.
One of one, none before, none to come so far.
Yeah, I didn't believe that I can do it. But once again, I was just happy to be in the game, in the NBA. I didn't care about getting drafted or where I got drafted. But since I was up here, okay, like you said, I had to represent.
Yeah, let me pop my collar one time.
And it was perfect timing because the draft was in Indianapolis. It couldn't have been at it's right in my backyard. You know, I went number one, and so the home state got a chance to witness that too.
Celebrate that.
That was special. But man, just to be in that class, man, with other number one draft picks and just in the lottery. Mm-hmm. You know, like I said, you had Grant Hill came out, Juwan, Jason, myself, Cherokee I think he came out that year. Sharon Wright. We had some hitters. We had some a pretty good draft class, and it came with strategy too because I almost left a year early. Now, if I would have went a year early, you got to deal with C. Webb, Sean Bradley, Penny Hardaway. Those were the top three. So Jamal Mashburn was in the mix.
Monster Mash.
Fresh out of
Monster Mash, bro.
Monster Mash was playing great. Yeah, so that could have easily slipped from number one to who knows. Yeah, so perfect timing. It was a perfect timing for Grant Hill too, because he stayed all 4 years. Mm-hmm. How many players do that nowadays? Yeah. If he would have won a year,
you'll never get that nowadays.
Right. Oh no, and you never get that. You know, like I say, being a prop, then I had to sit out my first year at Purdue. Then, of course, going to the league, the contract negotiation thing that gave me a bad name, put a bad reputation on my back when really that wasn't about me.
Right.
I was just playing basketball.
Nah, you ain't do nothing wrong. Right. Ain't no bad reputation. The real ones.
Well, let me tell you what it is. The whole thing that went on with that was a lot of that was my agents doing, but I got the bad reputation.
Exactly.
You know, that's what it was. So a lot of that wasn't me. Or so if, for instance, if someone said, well, he's a greedy athlete, he's asking for $100 million, and he said that's my agent. That's not me. I never once came on it. I didn't care what.
You letting them handle your business like you being told to do. Yeah,
exactly. And I just wanted to play basketball, and that's one big reason why I didn't fall out with the media or anything. I'm just not a big media person anyway. So.
Yeah, that's why we appreciate you pulling up on the kids, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely, most definitely.
You made it possible for these kids now to get these reds. You part of that history of like we see these kids getting 200. We seeing these kids getting a lot. We seeing these kids average damn near 10 points and getting 50.
Right.
And that wouldn't be possible for that. So, like, man, you ain't do nothing wrong. You should never feel, because, like I say, the real ones know. And if it was me, I'd ask for that shit too. And I'd settle for 68 any day.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is from an image standpoint, it created a bad image, on me when really I was just a kid from Gary, Indiana that just wanted to play basketball.
And if you look at it, this is no disrespect because I love and respect both of these guys, J. Kidd and G. Hill, but I feel like that had implications on your being a rookie of the year. The man averaged 21 out the gate, giving everybody gravy train.
Yes.
But you know what I'm saying? What you saying right now, obviously you can see how it played into a narrative, and we know how those things go.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I say, if you let the computer mathematically calculate the stats, there you go.
Men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
Yeah, them numbers don't.
Men lie, exactly.
Because you fresh in, and a lot of folks can't come fresh in doing what you did. Like, a lot of folks still not coming fresh in. Some of the greats in this game haven't came in this game, and level of play was already at that level.
And I think they should do that with, things like selecting an all-star.
Real talk.
Let the numbers, let's generate the numbers and see who the computer picked.
Yeah. Real talk.
Glenn Robinson was my rookie of the year. He was most of the hood's rookie of the year. Anybody that I talked to, you was the rookie of the year. We know why it didn't happen. You fucked up the system. After that came the rookie scale that me and my dog had to fall under. Like, how do that feel? You changed, like, you literally, they ain't gonna say it was the Glenn Robinson rule or what. We all know what it was. The whole rule in the rookie system got changed because you took 70 and said, I need mine.
I'm going to tell you what really changed it. I'm going to tell you who changed it, though. The big ticket.
Oh, yeah.
The big ticket got the $120. He got the 120.
That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all two right back to back like that.
Hey, that's another nickname. That nickname just fell. It just fell out the sky on him. The big ticket.
It was deservedly done.
Absolutely.
Big ticket, man. That's
the big ticket.
Yeah, you call it big ticket, baby.
After that was when the cap came.
Yeah.
After the big ticket, okay, the big dog, okay, they saw where it was going, but when it went there, when it actually went there, that's when
you know what?
The cap came.
You know what? This is the perfect time because I usually ask this question, right? But I don't.
He got it off the back, so I know it's.
That's what I'm saying. There's not many people we can ask this question in this scenario. I always ask, like, hey, you know, what you did when you got the bag? Like, you know, most people
they rookie contracts
didn't get this 60, 70 million on their first bag. Like, this is your first bag. Like, I know. We all did it. We took care of mom, dudes, family. No, I won't hear that. I want to hear the cocky shit you did. I want to hear what type of jewelry, what type of whip, what type of something that you did that you look back at now as an adult and be like, damn, I was kind of tripping, but like it was a good ass time. That's what I want. I want to hear what we want to know, what the hood want to know. Well, hey, it was a mistake, it was stupid, it was dumb, whatever you want to call it. You good. We all did it, and we here now, we good. What did Big Dog do when he got the 10 years, 68, record-breaking, might I add? Like you said, might I add, record-breaking, never done before. You got to treat yourself to something.
Never be done again.
Well,
exquisite. It had to be exquisite. What did my man from Gary, Indiana do?
Of course, mom's got the house first. That was
that's why I said you didn't guys say that. Things understood don't need to be talked about. We know we took care of our dudes.
But look, man, I had, I'm from Gary now. I'm used to old
Make
schools.
Mike Epps proud now. Make Mike Epps proud. He listening.
Hey, Mike from Nap, though. You know what I'm saying? Not Mike from Indy.
He know what Gary do. I didn't talk. He know what Gary is.
Exactly right, but Gary is a little bit more, Nap is Nap.
Yeah, it's like you said, like D-Miles said, like East Saint now.
Ain't no buildings in Gary. All the buildings in
Trust me.
Ain't too much grass either. One time Bernie Mac told me that he dissed me on stage. He said, boy, you from Gary. There ain't no grass in Gary.
Hey, look, boy, you go back to 1998, 99, they still had clothes wires out there hanging clothes up.
Yeah, but going back to it, I already had a Suburban with subs and all that stuff in the back before I went. Hey, that's how you knew I was gone.
He was a man in them already. Y'all already was a man in them before he even got up.
They saw that Suburban pull up with 8 subs in the back.
It's only right. I had 6 12s. I had 6 12s.
I had that
before. 5 minutes before he arrived, they heard him.
Yeah, I had that when the season was. As soon as the season was over with my junior year, that's how you knew I was gone. But do you remember the 3 finger? Do you remember the 3 fingers?
The
Rams. Yeah, the Rams, the 3 fingers.
Oh.
I think it was Antero. They used to call them 3.
Yeah.
I had a Mercedes 500. That was on them 3 fingers. Back then a 500 was, these kids now they want Bentleys and Rolls Royces and back then a
Benz was it.
There you go. You was out of here. You was out of here. We had to work second contract to get a Benz.
Yeah, exactly. So I had that. Hey, but see, by the time Tim came through, Tim Thomas he had a Bentley. I'm sorry. Yeah, he had a Bentley. Yeah, the black label Bentley in Milwaukee.
So I want to speak about the Milwaukee team again. Like I say, them years I felt y'all got cheated, the 76ers series. I'm gonna say that. But them years though, I just always loved.
How did you figure we got cheap?
he like.
I just feel like that
tell me more.
series. That series, like, what was it? It was either the game in Philly. Was it the game in Philly?
They did suspend Scotty Williams game 7.
Big time.
They went back.
Big time.
They changed the foul to a flagrant 2, which gave him enough flagrants to, after I think 4 or 5, you're out 1 game. It was something like that. Philly sent the tape in. Hey, smart move though by Philly. It was a hard foul.
I just feel like them years. Did you feel like them years in Milwaukee before y'all broke it all up? Did you feel like y'all really had a good shot at winning one?
I think so. I think we had a shot at winning the year in 2000. But I think what really hurt us was the Dikembe Mutombo. Philly got the Dikembe Mutombo the second half of the season. That really put Philly on a championship level of at least being able to make it to the finals. Having another big man, a defensive big man.
Right.
See, it was about who you put around AI. Mm-hmm. You don't want to put a bunch of scores around him. You want to put a bunch of rim runners.
Exactly. They did a great job of building that team around him.
Yeah. Exactly. And great defenders, rim runners, athletic guys in that sense. But when they got Mutombo, that created a little bit of a problem for us. Even though we still could have won that series, I had a key shot. We lost, I think, by a point. Now, earlier during the regular season, I took the same shot, 15-foot mid-range, my favorite, one of my most comfortable looks from the corner, hit the shot during the regular season. I had the same exact shot. I think it probably was game 5. Don't quote which game, but I missed that shot. I felt like if I would have made that shot, we would have won the series because that would have. I think it would have put us up 1. And I'm not sure who had home court advantage, but that particular shot, I think that could have been potentially the series winner. And that year, I made 5 buzzer beaters during the regular season. May I add? So, hey,
tell me this though. Take me here when 96, you get picked for Dream Team 2, which is like everybody, we all know what Dream Team 1 was and how epic and groundbreaking.
Dream Team 2 had
you get picked for the second Dream Team. How was that for you? And then to know like you got injured and couldn't play. Like how was that for you to be picked for that part of history, but also had to miss out on that part of history? And I'm gonna have a third part after you answer them too. I got a third question to that.
Well, I mean, what type of honor that is. That's
biggest period.
That's the biggest stage. That's self-explanatory. But, for me, of course, it was disappointing not to be able to play, with the injuries. But, man, I was still content and satisfied just to be in the class with the guys that's named on this team. Mm-hmm. That means everything to me, and it still does. But I wish I could play, but hey, like I said, just to be considered, that goes back to, hey, I just wanted to play.
Right.
It didn't matter where it was, and at the time, it was a big deal to me, but it's even more of a bigger deal to me now than it was when I played, because that goes back to me saying you don't realize what you're doing until it's all over with.
Yeah.
And that team, that selection, it still stands to this day. That's something that will never
they can't take it away.
Oh no, never.
Let me ask you this too with that, because we didn't have some of your compadres that made that team. The question must be asked. Even though you didn't play, do you think the Dream Team 2, as it was constructed, as it ended up, do you think that team could have beaten Dream Team 1?
No. I don't think so.
Hey, DC.
Oh,
who else?
So.
DC. Who else was on that team? LJ. Because LJ, DC came on here adamant.
And Shaq.
And Shaq. And the big fella. Oh, no.
I'm going to tell you this. I say it because most of those guys is on Dream Team 1 are my idols.
Exactly.
I look up to them.
Pay homage. Pay homage.
That's why I say that. I mean, would I try to get him? Oh, of course. You know, as a competitor, you're gonna go out and try to do the best you can against whoever. But as a fan and as looking at my idols, that would have been a tough one.
Yeah. Tell me this: Can you remember the first time you played against Scotty? When you was matched up against
Scotty and MJ.
Because I literally, just Scotty in particular, because Scotty is the guy that you identified as your position, who you know what I'm saying, you looked at. Obviously, Mike is a whole different story for everybody, regardless of your position or whatever.
Right.
But, I mean, you can answer Mike after that, but for you, Scotty, what was that like the first time you got a chance? Because I know you gave him buckets at some point because you got too many buckets not to have. So, like, when you score, because I can remember vividly the first time I scored a bucket on Scottie Pippen, and when I got out of that game, I called everybody I knew.
At home, right.
Like how was that for you, like matching up against Scotty for the first time?
Well, just to play against Chicago.
Right. The Bulls in general.
You know, then I played with the Bucks.
So you played against
just to play against Chicago, that's the only time that my city really get a chance to see us play. The Bucks, we only probably had maybe one national TV game a year or, something like that. The only time the home would get to see me play was against the Bulls. So I was up for that anyway, because that's the only time. But like you said, to play against Scotty, I mean, you're going to try to eat your best. I ate my best meal. I got a good night's rest. You know, I read that damn scout report a couple of times. You know, I was just excited, man. I was ready to play, not only against him, but just to play against the Bulls, man. I had some decent games, some pretty good games against them. Just from, it's easy to get up against Chicago. You know, they had to face this every night.
Right.
Everybody they played against, everybody gave them their best shot. So I gave them my best shot a few times. Now, Jordan was retired at the time.
Right.
He didn't come back until, I think, maybe the last 20, 30 games of the season after All-Star break. So at the time, and we played them the very last game of the regular season, I believe. But at the time, I had saw all the superstars. Now, I saw Hakeem Olajuwon. I saw Shaq. I saw Penny, them doing their thing. I saw Barkley, David Robinson, you name it, all the top hats at the time. So I was, plus Jordan had number 45. So he looked a little different. That wasn't the same Jordan. That wasn't the 23 Jordan
hey, well, we grew up
watching. So, I wasn't, I was like, okay, that's Mike. But I felt like I saw everybody. So I was like, I'm going to bust their ass. I played well. Actually, I had 36 that game, and Mike had 33. And now, hey, let me finish now. He had 33. At one point, Mike MJ fouled the shit out of him. He fouled me hard, boom, and then went to help me up. It was an article in the paper. I'm looking up.
He's shining the light.
I'm like, thank you. Mike, the great MJ is picking me up. I got his attention. But anyway, it was a big article in the paper, big dog, the rookie, he outscored Mike, this and that. Fellas, it was like he read that shit.
Next game, he had to make a point.
It was like he read that, man.
I got to make an example.
Man, the next season, when he, now keep in mind, he came
23.
Absolutely. But when he came in, he didn't have no training camp. He just came in off the streets and started back playing. So if you look at the numbers he was putting up there, that's kind of insane. But he had the full season now, training camp. He got a chance to get, everything in. And of course, he averaged about 45, 46 against us. But who had to pay? Who had to eat most of them buckets? Ray.
Right.
Not me.
Hey, but look, that's why Ray to his credit, why look, AKA Jesus Shuttleworth, that's why he's the first, he's Mr. Jordan brand. MJ said, you know what? You worthy. I'm gonna make you the first one. He the first member of the whole elite league assassins that Jordan started creating. Mike grabbed him first.
Yeah, because he basically had all the tools that Mike had. Kobe had everything except for one thing, the hands.
Mm-hmm.
boy, if Kobe could do this with the ball,
that was the only thing. That's the one thing you could say that Kobe was not able to emulate.
That's the but I don't know if Mike could do a windmill vertical.
Yeah,
underneath the basket like I saw Kobe do. Also,
now, Kobe definitely took it to in my opinion, Kobe was MJ 2.0. But in my opinion, like when everybody talk about, the greatest and da-da-da-da, in my opinion, when it get down to just the killer mentality and the killer instinct, can't nobody get up in that room with Kobe and MJ. They belong in that room by their damn self. Right. Can't nobody come up in there. Like when you talk about the set of what they bring to the table and how, like, what, I fight you, I score 60 on you, you know what I'm saying, I lock you down, like, they by themselves. They by themselves in that room. Can't nobody else grace that joint with them.
Right. I think Shep said one game Kobe started naming out his family members during the breaks while he might be on his knees. Say if your cousin's name is John Harrison, Quentin Richardson. Darius. He said, he looking at this guy like, man, what's wrong with you? He done studied the man that hard where he know his family members.
Yeah, that was the part. Because even when we had him on our show, the fact that he talked about, we asked him about the game in the Garden, I asked him about that, and it was like, Wilson Chandler was, he's from Indiana, Ben Hard, but Wilson Chandler was a freshman. He was a rookie then. And the fact that he went into detail about his habits, about his, his mannerisms on defense, his tendencies and all that. I'm like, man, they had but so much film. Like, how you gonna tell me all this about Wilson Chandler and all this and that? But like that goes into, like, D Miles said it on the episode. He like, you like Dexter when it come to hoop, and like that was how he was. Like that speaks to it too, that he naming all these different people. Like, what you talking about?
And that's what it comes down to nowadays when you look at it's about tendencies, because some of the players, like when they talk about the GOATs and who the best, some of the players back in the early 60s, they didn't have the tendencies that it's a lot of Dr. J's out there. It's no Dr. J's, but it's a lot of flying. It's a lot of guys that can jump. It's a lot of guys that's athletic, can shoot, can do everything. Back in the early days, it was either one or the other. Either you can fly or you can knock it down.
Right.
Or you just big and more dominant than everybody, and you could just, dunk on. Now it's like a boxing match.
Everything.
Everybody is the same size. Everybody is the same height. Yeah. So that's what makes the game.
Yeah, I'll be playing center right now. You definitely be powerful center right now.
Oh man. Yeah.
Like one of the guys that remind me of you when he first got to the league and just seeing his careers was like Carmelo Anthony.
Melo.
He was he reminded me so much of you and the buckets you be getting. I'm like, man, this is like the 2000 version of Big Dog
2.0.
Because he was aggressive, he all that, and he got them buckets. Like, but when you see guys like Melo and some of them guys that kind of resemble your style of play, how is that for you to see these young generations?
Man, Melo definitely. Like you say, he'll play a little bully ball. He can go inside, he can go out, he can shoot the ball. He got a little bit more range than I had, though. But yeah, he definitely reminded me of myself. Kevin Durant. Yeah. That's another one. Yeah. The shot, like you were saying, Darius.
High
arc. And this kid is, I don't know how tall he is. With the ball,
it's debatable. 7 feet, 6'11".
That makes him 7'3" or something like that. But just the way he shoot the ball, is just the way it looks. It reminds me, of myself.
Speaking of that, your son got some hops, but I've been watching. It's like
bunnies.
Like how the guys that we admire and love, we watch their kids and we feel like we're a part of that and so forth. So watching your son's career and from Michigan to his spell in the NBA, and how is that to see your boy do his thing and fall in love with this ball that we fell in love with?
But he made it to the league, man. That's the ultimate.
Well, I call him Trey. But boy, Trey, he was he was born to play basketball. And I didn't put the ball in his hand. When the ball finally found its way in his hands, he never let it go. That's the best I can describe it. And of course, growing up, seeing me play in the basketball camps and seeing different ball players play, you know, that I play with as he's coming up. You know, he's 8, 9, 10 years old, you know, in the locker room.
Sam Cassell is up.
Absolutely. In the locker room, you know, joking with Sam or AI, you know, that's one of the experiences he always talk about meeting Allen Iverson in the locker room. And, you know, AI real, you know, he gonna mess with you. You know, so, but for your kid, just to live the legacy, man, and keep it going, just, you know how tough it is. Y'all know how tough it is just to make it into the NBA.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, and he's living his dream. He's doing what he wants to do. And, you know, he's always been into, you know, creating his own lane. And the biggest thing that I'm proud of him about is his attitude. Yeah. That's everything, because he can be walking around with his chest out this far. His head can be this big because of his father played in the NBA, which makes people not like you. Yeah. You know, that makes people come at you a little bit harder.
Or feel like you got it easy.
Exactly.
Which is even harder.
Right. So that's one thing that I love about him, that he's not arrogant, he's not big-headed, and he's not just trying to live off of my name. He's out doing his own thing and creating his own lane. But like you say, man, that's a special feeling. You know, I played in the NBA, for him to come through and to be in there. So I can imagine how, like Harvey Grant, when they were twins that's in the league. Just imagine how the parents feel. Like Steph and Seth in the league. That's like a dream come true.
Man, I pray for that. So I definitely want to salute, you know what I'm saying, you and your, you know, and his mom and I mean him, because like you said, him more so than anything else. Because like you said, we all know, you know, raising kids and bringing kids in this lifestyle, it can be funny, and you can have some kids that think they the parent, and will not think they the parent, but think they have the credentials that they parent have, or you know what I'm saying, or have access because of what their parents have done. And it's always dope to see when somebody come through and they're a junior. Like I look at Tim Hardaway Jr. the same way that I look at, you know, your son. Like I watched him when he was younger, when Tim brought him to the gym, and to see these guys grow up and to still have great attitudes, great personalities, be great teammates, be great kids. And when you talk to different players and different coaches and different people, they good people. They're not little assholes that thinking they entitled and think because they daddy did this that they entitled to that. And like you said, winning created their own lane, making their own way and making their own, and continuing their daddy's good name and making it look good. They not out here sullying it up, doing sucker shit in the league and doing sucker shit wherever they are. Right. Like, regardless of whatever they do on the court, they still are good people.
And that's I can say that
in all of that.
And I can say that just basically with all the kids now that's in the league who dad played. They all are good kids. Yeah, all have great attitudes.
I swear that makes me glad. Like because I want my kid. I pray and I hope, and you know we all want our kids to try and make it to the league or whatever. And I definitely want my kids. I ain't forcing them, but I hope my kids make the damn NBA. But like more so than anything, I want them to be good dudes that know how to do for themselves and make their own way and not be trying to live off nobody else and not being considered no assholes, bro. Because like we all good dudes and like we all done seen and encountered assholes, whether it was on the whatever level of basketball, whatever level in life. We've been around them and don't nobody like that. And I don't ever want my kids to be associated with that type of shit. And it's real cool and it gives me a lot of hope to see so many of our kids doing that well and being good people at the same time. That gives me a lot of hope.
That's right. It's the most awesome feeling, man. It's hard to explain. You know, first of all, going back to how I came up, Trey had everything that I did not have.
Right.
From the education, from you know, the community that he grew up in, like food that he's eating, the exercise, the access to all the equipment that he need, everything that he need to play ball, you know, everything was a lot better than I had. You know, and one thing he does everything, even skill wise. I turned out a better player, but you know, Trey can handle the ball better than I could. He can jump higher than I could. His range is better than mine as well. I'm a better mid-range post shooter, but basically everything that I did, he's doing, or he's done it better, and that's the key. You want your kids to be better than you was. Mm-hmm. And I feel like he's better than I was just if he do an interview, just speaking.
Yeah.
You know, when I came up, you look at some of those old interviews with some of the players, you know, the speech, that's stuff that we wasn't taught. Mm-hmm. Now all of this stuff, it comes along with being an athlete. When we came in, it was just student athlete when we came in. Now it's student, athlete, great person, great citizen. It's more things that comes in the bag than just playing basketball and you know, that type of deal. So I'm proud from that standpoint. And like you say, to get drafted, he wasn't a lottery pick or anything like that, but just to be pursuing his dream, just to make it into the business, into the game, and doing what he loved to do.
Yeah.
Even to this day, how many of us get a chance to do what we like to do?
For real.
Most of us, 90% of, I'm not going to say 90%, 80% of people, 75% of people that go to work don't like their job.
Right.
They're doing it because they have to.
Yeah.
And you get
I hate when Q show up. Yeah, it makes me don't like my job.
But nah, for real, like you say, you get to really say this is Big Dog 2.0. Because like you say, like, ain't no prop 48 for him. Like, he got a chance to be the best in education. He went straight to school, started playing, and he doing everything.
He played. He didn't have to sit out.
Like you say, from the interview, like that, that's truly the level up that we talking about. Like, you know, in our communities, like, we do all that we do so that our kids can have it better than we were, than we had, and so they could come and be better than us. You know what I'm saying? Whether, like you say, whether it turns out as far as status, because like you said, to a man, like his skills and everything that you put into him are better. Like now y'all careers are different because they were different. That's, you know, we can't control all of that, but like the things that were under his control, like his abilities, like he did that. And that's something that definitely should be commended and saluted. So, man, you, his mom, and the community that helped bring him up, y'all did a great job, because like right now, even when you look out there, regardless of what he's done in his career, you don't see no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't see no foolishness. You see a good kid, a good person going about his business. He work hard, and whatever happens is what happens. But like, you don't see no silly shit that you see out here with some of these guys and some of these dudes that get caught up in some of the stuff. So every time I see that, I always want to salute and commend, because like, to me, you know, I know what it is and what we as youth go through, especially with somebody who, you know, I can't even imagine having a dad that's you. And you know what I'm saying? He come out as good as he did, and he's not, you know, people probably compared him, probably said this and did all type of different shit. And for him to be who he is, and I'm talking about just from the outside looking in, I don't know personally, but like that's what it is, man. Y'all did a great job with him, because you don't see that a lot. You see a lot of different things, a mixed bag, and this, that, and the third. But when you see it come out the right way, and like I say, regardless of how good, because to me, he's great. Been in dunk contests, did this and that, and he's, you know, got as many years. When you get almost 9-10 years and you go into your 10th year, like, you good. This ain't no accident no more. This ain't no aberration. This ain't no mistake.
Hey, that's good. That's another thing. He been out of my pocket.
He ain't.
And that's all we want for him, though.
He got his own deal.
Not only is he out of your pocket, he's bringing something to the table and pulling up a chair like, I belong here. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, what's up, Pops? We doing what we want to do.
That's what my mom always told me. She wanted for me. She wanted to make sure I can be able to take care of myself, and that's what I want for my kids. And that's all we want for them. We want them to be able to take care of themselves, because we ain't gonna always be here to do it for them. So
exactly, absolutely.
Start, bench, cut. You have to start one.
Trouble right here.
You have to start one. You have to bench one. You have to cut one.
Like this.
You trying to get you in trouble right now.
Scottie Pippen, Dominique Wilkins, and Larry Johnson.
At what position?
Charlotte, Larry Johnson.
At the small forward, Scottie Pippen.
You starting Scottie?
At the small forward. At the power forward, I'm starting Grandmama. Today.
I need to put another 3 in there.
But listen, today, if it's today, I may be able to start Scottie at the 3 or the 4.
Well, let me ask you that. We'll take Grandma out there. We add Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo, Dominique, and Pippen. Who would you start? Who would you cut? Who would you bench?
Not right, all right.
Oh, my God. Can you put LJ back in there?
That kind of game
made it too tough for me. So Scottie, Carmelo, or Dominique. Wow. I might have to start Scottie.
Easy.
For the defense.
Okay.
Same, they all got good offense, but I think Scottie probably got better D. So I got to cut somebody. I got to bench somebody.
Yeah, you got to bench and cut somebody.
Oh, man. I might.
Love that Dominique, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, that's neat, boy. Human highlight.
Can I come back to that one?
Yeah, you come back.
I got to think about that.
I know what I want to ask you, right? So in 04-05, you signed with basically my nemesis. After you play here and there, did a couple games, then you signed with the Spurs. Now I was with the Suns that year. They were literally our nemesis throughout the regular season. Then y'all motherfuckers put us out in the playoffs and the Western Conference Finals, and ended my dream season where I thought we had a real chance to get a ring. I am glad that y'all did go on to win the championship. But for you, how was that? Even though you weren't the same big dog like out there killing it, how was that for you to be a part of that team and to see how the Spurs work and to see how that whole system goes? And then to actually, we all know, regardless, winning the chip is winning the chip. It's an accomplishment for us. Like, how was that for you?
Man, the Spurs, they got a different type of program. First class was, different, far. Now, I done been on a team. I done been on one of the worst teams in the league, and I done been on one of the best teams. Mm-hmm. They run, or at least the time that I spent with them, they was on point with their stuff from practice to injury management to player minute, whatever you want to call it, to diet.
They had it all together.
They had their stuff together. Now, as far as running the offense, this is the only team where, say if you call 3-side, the 3-man on previous teams, the 2-man may have to be on the right side, the 3-man be on the left. If you're on the opposite sides, the play don't start until you get on, everybody get into their positions. Yeah. Well, with Popovich, you better know your spot. You got to know where to start the play from the spot that you're in because you're wasting time. Right. So that right there was a challenge for me to have to know the play from different positions.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
Exactly. That's one thing Tim Thomas was good at. He can run a play from the 1, the 2, or the 3.
Right. Yeah.
With myself, I'm running my stuff from the 3.
See, that's D-Miles. D-Miles has like 4 positions out there. Point guard, power forward, small forward. D-Miles had all that shit.
Unless it was one thing, it may be a basic play where the ball handler in the middle, then the big man set screens for the guards coming off something simple like that. Mm-hmm. But with Pop, you got to know positions from the spot that you're in on the court. So if someone's denying the ball, you just go down, this other man shift over. It's all about what the defense do. That was different for me. And then just the respect that he had from his players, they bought into his system. Y'all done been on some teams where the damn player will coach, he'll curse the coach out.
Right.
Yeah. Get crazy with the coach.
Not up in here.
Well, Popovich had his stuff where he could say, Glenn, get the fucking rebound. Or Quentin, get your ass down the court. Or Timmy. He tell the same shit to Timmy that he would to Bano Uterich or somebody.
Right.
The last man on the roster. And Tim didn't take that person.
Yeah.
That's what made them a great team.
And if Timmy can take it, everybody better be able to.
You better take it. Otherwise, guess what? Get out of here.
Yeah.
Ginobili, man, I done seen him get in Ginobili's face. Ginobili, he pull his hair back and go out there and go to work. You understand me? Put stuff behind his ears and go out there and get buckets.
Hey, let me just say this for the record. In 04-05, I wanted to hurt Manu Ginobili. I want to fight him. I'm not lying to you. Motherfucker, one of the nicest dudes you're going to meet, but he's a killer. He's a killer on that court. He out for blood, bro. But he not going to like really, outside of like a flop or a flare, like he's not going to do anything to really like antagonize or make you want to put hands on him because he,
just the type of player I am. Like you scoring and you on the other team. I want to fuck you up.
Give him one. Yeah.
It was hard. Him and Tony Parker, that was like the nicest team.
Smiling every day.
Ever I hated in my life. They was like it was like Tim Duncan, how can you hate him? Tony Parker, how can you hate him? Okay, Manu, I can hate you a little bit because you flail and do some bullshit, but like even when you talk to him, how can you hate him? It was like, yo, this is like the hardest team to hate, but when I say 04-05, my single season in Phoenix. If you could erase that team, we are world champs. I'm not bullshitting you. If you can get the fuck rid of San Antonio, y'all motherfuckers, I was looking like, oh my God. D-Man, you remember you came down to Phoenix for the Dallas series when we beat Dallas. And I'm just like, I think we got a chance. Like, I'm just like, man.
Y'all had a nice team that year. It was y'all was the team.
If we would have beat y'all, big dog, I swear to you, if we beat the Spurs, it's a
that was it.
I don't give a flying fuck who we saw in the East.
Yeah.
They wasn't seeing Detroit. Us in those. It didn't matter if we saw Detroit or Mike, because it was supposed, the series that everybody wanted to see was Miami and us. And then they got Detroit and y'all, they was like, it was the exact opposite as far as cities, like, right, where everybody would want to go visit. But like, if we would have seen either one of them, man, I'm 100% confident.
Yeah.
Pepe Le Pew. Like,
I think y'all would have got them too.
Man,
Detroit had a good team.
They did, but you know how it is in the league. It's matchups. Like, we matched up. We did not match up good with y'all. And Pop was smart. He knew that we weren't going to go and use up. We played one way. And like when I talked to D'Antoni, even like a few years ago when he first got back in the league, when he came back with Philly, and I was with Detroit and I talked to him. He was like, two things. We didn't change the style that we play, and then he let them make him feel like we needed to make that trade when they traded me for Kurt Thomas after the season. But like during the season, bro, the whole series when we played y'all, this was the disrespect of it all. They guarded me and Joe Johnson. Tony Parker guarded me, and Manu Ginobili guarded Joe Johnson, and we did not post up one time. That's the series right there.
Y'all ran the pick and roll.
That was it. That was it. And they stayed to us like glue, and everybody knew that if you stay with us, our power was all five of us getting off. That was our superpower, like the Power Rangers, some shit. All five of us, like Steve Nash knew how to get everybody off. Pop said, hey, we gonna make him score. Even though he could do it, he don't want to do that. They are at their best when everybody's going crazy. If we could contain it and just let him and Stoudemire go off, we could win like that. But if those three chip in with their 20s and 18s, it's a problem. Manu face guarded me. Tony face guarded me. Manu face guarded Joe Johnson. And then it was just them two. Stat was getting 40s.
They start switching that pick and roll.
That was getting his 40s, but it just was like, it was not ineffective, but it didn't mean as much when everybody else couldn't chip in. That pissed me off so bad because I was sitting there frustrated. Like, number one, I can't get my shit off because I'm sitting here waiting for no shots that ain't coming because I'm being face guard. Secondly, I got fucking Tony Parker, who what I'll do to him on the block. And we just not gonna even try it. It was so frustrating. Then you got Joe over there with Ginobili, and then you come back on the other end and they cooking. Cause you know what I'm saying? Like them motherfuckers is a problem. John Ginobili, man, that motherfucker was a problem. Euro stepping going behind it. When he came off that screen and roll, it was issues. Him coming down here was a problem.
Man, I missed that whole series. And that took me out of the rotation. You know, I missed that series. My mom was sick right before she passed away with cancer. Yeah, so I had played the series before that. But yeah, I missed that whole series with y'all and then came back. That was the Western Conference Final. Yeah, I came back against Detroit. Yeah,
in the finals.
Yeah.
I want to ask you your favorite five. You don't got to be your top five, just your favorite five basketball players of all time. Your favorite, your favorite to watch and see.
Yo, Mount Rushmore.
You know, it don't got to be the top five, but
I'm gonna go ahead and give you my top or my opinion, shall I say?
Okay.
Well, first of all, I'm gonna leave LeBron out of this because he's still playing.
Okay.
That's
Is that fair?
caveat.
Yeah, that's definitely fair.
That gets all of the LeBron haters off your bumper, so they don't be like you hating because you know it's 2021. Yeah. Oh, you hating on it.
I can give you a current too. You know, he's in the current top.
However you want to bring it.
But my top five, I would say, you already know who number one is. Q. MJ,
Big Black Cat.
You know, Mike. I would say number two maybe. MJ. Don't give me I'm not giving you the order after Mike yet. But I'm gonna say Mike, Kobe, Kareem. It's a tie between Magic Johnson and Larry Bird for number 4.
I dig it.
And Wilt, number 5.
Wilt.
And I base mine off of dominance. So if maybe you two guys can help me break this tie.
I'm telling you my top 5. I'm gonna tell you my top 5. My top 5, I had LeBron in mind, but my top 5
you can't no current players.
No current player?
No current players.
Well, Magic is in my top 5. Well, my top 5 is Mike, Kareem, Kobe, Shaq, and Magic.
Nice.
In that order.
Nice. And to me, it's off dominance.
Yeah.
Nobody dominated the game like Mike did. Yeah. Not even Kobe.
Nobody
dominated. Kobe gave him 80 something one game, but nobody dominated it like Mike in his era. Yeah. Nobody dominated the game like Kareem did.
Man, they don't give him his props, man. I don't wonder why that.
And I choose Kareem over Wilt because the game changed a lot when Kareem came in defensively. Defensive schemes really started coming about on how to start, and more size of equal height started coming in more. Back when Wilt played, he was balling against 6'9"ers. Not that he wasn't great, but if you put a guy, length is everything in basketball.
Yeah. So here go my 5. If I had to go 5 and with no current players, I'm going Isaiah, Mike, Kobe, Hakeem Olajuwon at the 4, and Shaq at the 5. Because when you say dominance, I feel like as dominant as Wilt was, as dominant as Kareem was, Shaq would have broke him in half. Like with the evolution of the game. And I feel I never disrespect those dudes and say
I don't know about Kareem. Like Kareem, man.
Bro, I'm not talking about the hook. It was unstoppable. I'm not talking about the hook. I'm just talking about he said dominance.
He dominated.
We know the come on, bro. I didn't say whatever you want. If you said the most dominant, I would be remiss if I didn't say that big fella Shaq, like, bro, you heard DC. You heard the 8th wonder of the world. This man, physical dominance, that's who he is. That's what he was. And I'm not disrespecting. I understand the time that they playing in. I'm just saying if there was a mythical world where we could tee them up in their prime against each other, prime Shaq, who? What's gonna stop him? Physical dominance? Like if he turn that shoulder and throw that shoulder into either one of them, what they body's gonna do?
Yeah,
Will was strong now.
He was. That's what I'm saying. I'm
talking about 4'5", 495 type strong. This dude would go out and run the marathon, run 100 and
he was. And I look
sprinters.
But when you look at him, when you look at Wilt and you look at him,
yeah, when you look at him,
he gives you the eye test of a David Robinson, a Dwight Howard type physical dominance, right? Just looking, like not saying in person, like I'm not saying in person, but like when you look at the top, I've never seen him. I'm just saying when I look, I get the feel of that type of a dominance, like David Robinson and like these motherfuckers are strong, not weak at all. But I'm just saying, like when you look at Shaq, I feel the same.
But
we seen Shaq rip down whole stanchions and whole everything. Like back then, I know the rules was different. You weren't supposed to dunk and blah blah blah. For me, it's just I don't know. It's just different.
But if there's a way to stop Shaq, or there's a strategy that you can use that might be able to get you a W in the fourth quarter, what you gonna do when you foul?
You throw him on the free throw line, absolutely.
So who on the free throw
line?
I'm
just saying that's one thing that you can probably do that can. It may get you a W here and there.
But see, that's why I said that's why I stopped short of saying like whoever they want to say is the best all time because Bill Russell won however many rings. That's why I say just dominant.
Now, like you said,
power, strength, force, dominant. The most like.
And I'm gonna say this: Shaq couldn't play with full strength. Like all three of us, we can go out there and we can play as hard as we can.
He might.
But if Shaq come out there and
somebody,
he had to kind of play a little timid sometimes when he post up. If he just got big like this and just say, give me the ball.
If you saw him coming with that classic all-time Shaq two-hand, who putting their hand in there? Ain't gonna live to talk about it. Healthy. I'm telling you, I can't say that for Kareem or Wilt. That's all I'm saying. When I talk about dominance and strength, that's what I talk about. I'm not talking about I get it. I know Shaq was a struggle with free throw, but I'm just saying, anytime I'm picking my five and we talking about dominance and who couldn't be stopped and how, like you said, the intimidation factor, nobody's more intimidating than that.
But at the time when Mike played, that's why I say during the era when Wilt played, Wilt was playing against smaller guys.
Milkman.
That's what allowed him to be able to dominate the way he was.
And that's why I also classify that because the talent that Shaq was playing against and the athleticism,
he dominated that too.
Different.
He dominated it.
And I feel like it was a level up on level. That's why.
That's what I'm saying. You got defensive schemes that and the rules got changed to a zone.
If you took Shaq, dominant Shaq, his prime best year, and dropped him off in Wilt and Kareem era. Like the whole game getting canceled.
Especially with the spacing. You got a point with the spacing
the key
rules.
and all that. Like, bro, like if Wilt was just doing a big dip, like he would have really been breaking down pulling the rim out the ground probably. You know what I'm saying?
But Wilt couldn't use his physical force just as much as Shaq couldn't use his physical force.
Yeah. And they took slam dunks out the game.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what he's talking about. But I feel
But I always thought I don't really be like, I respect Wilt and Bill Russell and them guys from the 60s and the 70s. Respect. But like my basketball kind of starts with Kareem. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like the first of my era. I'm born in 81, so Kareem just got to the league in like 78. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna say this about Shaq, and I don't want Shaq to take this no type of way.
He definitely watching. Shaq's
because I can say this about myself as well. But just imagine if Shaq is a marketing machine. Just think if he wasn't doing a million other things off the court, maybe during the off season, and he was just in the gym shooting jumpers. Post move, and he probably was doing this anyway.
If he had the work ethic, it's Kobe.
In the gym, just think
he had that Kobe.
But just think,
work after the
just
Kobe.
Thinking he was in the gym working out with Tim Grove. Remember Grove from Chicago? Just think if he had him with Grove in the summertime. Now it wouldn't be no type of question whatsoever.
Who's the most dominant?
Yeah, because he would have been able to play until he wanted to stop. Because he would have literally been able to walk down to wherever spot he wanted to and say, "Give me the ball." Still at whatever age. So still
outside of Kobe,
dominant.
Is outside of Kobe, that question could almost be asked for a lot of people, because
that's why I say myself as well.
Because Kobe one of the few people who really left no stone unturned. Like everybody else could say, "Hey, I probably could have did this more." You know, obviously everybody some more than others, but like I don't think it's nobody who really got as close to maxing it out as they can is like Kobe. Like his stuff is the stuff of legend and mythical urban legends. You never heard of the lengths that he went. I never seen him outside of the gym.
Even guys that could match that still wasn't or is not as good as he is. But if Shaq would have matched that, Kobe would have been here and Shaq would have been up there with Mike somewhere. It wouldn't be no question.
No.
Whatsoever. Yeah.
Yo, man, that's been a wrap, man. This is real special for me and D Miles, the two Midwest boys. We grew up under this OG, man. We appreciate you sliding through on us, big dog. You don't know how much this means to us. You one of them ones for us, big dog.
Man, thanks a lot. No problem, man. Anytime, just hit me up.
Yes, sir. Man.